everyone. You're watching Awaz News. I'm Kubra Ali and I'll be taking you through big news across Canada.
5 charged in recent smash and grab Markham jewelry store robbery attempt, including 3 youths. Former York Regional Police officer begins 7.5-year jail sentence after Ontario's top court dismisses appeal. Police charge 31 drivers following investigation into street racing events in Peel region. Twin brothers granted new trial, alleged complies acquitted in 2016 Pizza murder case. How much does $1 million buy you in Toronto's housing market? Air Canada passengers recount hellish journey to Toronto after 10 delays, one cancelled flight. Video shows Toronto woman run into by police car. The force disputes it's a collision.
These were the headlines, and let's jump right into the details.
A Toronto area police officer has begun serving more than 7-year jail sentence after Ontario's top court dismissed an appeal of his 2021 conviction on corruption charges early this week. In a release issued Thursday, York Regional Police YRP said the Ontario Court of Appeal decision has handed down to former Constable Richard Senior, who served 16 years with a service on February 21st. Senior, who most recently worked with District Community Response Unit in Markham, was arrested on October 9, 2018, following a 10-month investigation by Services Major Projects Unit. The investigation led officers to believe Senior had been involved in a number of criminal enterprises, including the attempted armed robbery of a quantity of cocaine, the theft and illegal possession of a York Regional Police shotgun, the trafficking of steroids to another officer, trafficking cocaine, and the disclosing of confidential police information, the release states. During his trial in February 2021, the Crown alleged that the officer had filed an intelligence report about his former mistress and attributed the information to a fake confidential source. Other allegations presented by the prosecution included selling steroids to another undercover officer, stealing money he was given to pay informants, and inappropriately accessing a police database to disclose confidential information. Senior's lawyer argued that his client's actions were due to lack of experience and training. He also said that none of the incidents would have occurred without the instigation of police. Ultimately, Senior was convicted of 8 charges, including trafficking cocaine, trafficking testosterone, and possession of a weapon obtained by crime, possession of a weapon for a dangerous purpose, unauthorized use of a computer, and breach of trust, and later that year, sentenced to 7.5 years in jail. Senior has been suspended without pay since 2020 when he was handed a custodial sentence. Under the Police Services Act, an officer cannot be suspended without pay unless they have been convicted of an offense and sentenced to a term of imprisonment. Ontario's top court has ordered a new trial for twin brothers formerly convicted of killing a stranger in a Toronto pizza outlet and acquitted their alleged noncompliance, citing in large part a tainted witness account. Shakil Shaw, Lenil Shaw, and Muhammad Ali Noor were initially convicted of first-degree murder in the death of Jarrell Hagley, 17, in 2019. Hagley was fatally shot in a Western Road pizza outlet 3 years earlier in October 2016. In an Ontario Court of Appeal decision released on February 16, Justice Jill Copeland's judgment on behalf of a panel of 3 judges found errors in the charge made to the jury in 2019 trial, along with significant frailties in the testimony of key witness Winston Poyser. Poyser, who was initially also facing a murder charge in Hagley's death, was standing outside the door at the time of the shooting and ran from the scene. His family vehicle had also been used to travel to and from the pizza outlet. In 2018, Poyser pleaded guilty to reduced charge of accessory after the fact murder. He was sentenced to 1 day in jail after 27 months of pre-trial custody, followed by 2 years probation. At the trial following year, Poyser identified Lenil Shaw and Ali Noor as the 2 shooters, while the court heard that Poyser had known the Shaws for years. He testified he had only met Ali Noor introduced to him as Cron Dog on the afternoon before the shooting. Shakil Shaw, Poyser told the court, had been the gateway driver. The purchasing power of buyers with a $1 million budget searching for a home in Canada will widely vary depending on the city they are shopping in, with those in Toronto getting less square footage and fewer bedrooms than everywhere aside from Vancouver, according to a new report. However, a $1 million property can range from a luxurious detached home to a two-bedroom condominium, depending on the location. The average home in the Greater Toronto Area, valued between $950,000 and $150,000 in December 2023, and 3 bedrooms, 2.3 bedrooms, and 1,459 square feet of living space, 301 square feet less than the national average. A home in the city of Toronto at the same price point had 2.8 bedrooms, 1.9 bathrooms, and 1,218 square feet of living space, 241 square feet less than the average property in the greater region, and 542 square feet less than the national average. A home within the same price point is situated in the city of Toronto had 3.5 bedrooms, 2.7 bedrooms, and 2,075 square feet of a living space, 717 square feet less than the average property in the greater region, and 526 square feet less than the national average. Vancouver was the only other market that got buyers less bang for their buck than in Toronto. The average home in Greater Vancouver, valued between $950,000 and $150,000 in December of 2023, and 2.4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and 1,187 square feet of living space, 573 square feet less than the national average. According to a Royal LePage survey conducted by Liger, 2/3 of Canadians overall believe that $1 million is a reasonable budget to afford a home that meets their household's needs. But Canadians living in the country's most expensive provinces are much less likely to feel that a $1 million budget is enough to buy a home. 10 delays, 1 cancellation, and about 27 hours later, Air Canada travelers trying to jet out of Fort Lauderdale finally made what one of them is calling a hellish journey back to Toronto. I was actually supposed to go to the funeral of a close family friend, Shama Ansari, told Awaz News on Thursday morning, which was very, very sad and heartbreaking because that was something we had planned to be there and help with as well. On Sunday evening, flight AC 1029 out of Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport was initially scheduled to depart for Toronto at 9:15 p.m., but an hour before departure, passengers received their first delay notice of the evening saying the flight would not depart at 10:30 p.m., citing airport limitations. While the notice provides examples of what that means, including various technical issues, it does not explain outright why this particular flight was delayed. Then a second delay notice rolled in shortly after 9 p.m. with the flight pushed back to 11 p.m. Minutes before 10 p.m. and flight was delayed to 11:50 p.m. Shortly after 11 p.m. the flight was further delayed to 12:30 a.m. Just after 12:15 a.m. Air Canada cancelled the flight outright. The flight was rescheduled to leave Monday at 4:15 p.m. and passengers said the airline did not offer any hotel vouchers. Sharply, speaking to an Air Canada representative at the airport, tried to get answers. Ansari said she and her family scrambled to find a hotel. Ansari was traveling with her husband, 3 children, and her 72-year-old mother, who is in wheelchair. The litany of delays continued into Monday, with the first notice issued to passengers just before 10:30 a.m. informing them the flight had been delayed to 5:15 p.m. As for what happened Monday, Bolshani said they all watched quite literally the same thing unfold. Passengers didn't receive another notice of their flight being further delayed until 3:25 p.m. when they were already at the airport and were told the flight would not leave until 6:15 p.m. All the passengers who spoke to Awaz News said food vouchers were only given when they were asked for, and they were not all equal in value. Some were given $15 vouchers, others $60. Other Air Canada flights, they added, had also departed from Fort Lauderdale Airport with seemingly no issue. When Ansari's mother tried speaking with one of the Air Canada staff at the airport for an idea of when they would leave, she said that she was also met with rude comments. The flight was delayed 4 more times, with the final delay announcement at 9:26 p.m., just over 24 hours from when they were scheduled to leave on Sunday. Passengers started running towards the airline counter screaming, Sharp Relay said, adding there were about 3 sheriffs that arrived at the gate. Golshani noted there was a tense energy in the room, but said she never felt at any point that she was unsafe or that the crowd would riot. A spokesperson for Broward's Sheriff's Office said deputies responded to a disturbance in Terminal 2 of the airport at around 9:15 p.m. but did not provide further details. The flight finally departed at midnight, landing at Toronto Pearson International Airport at around 3 a.m. A Toronto woman is unimpressed after a police car turned and ran into her while she was crossing the street. The encounter caught on dashcam video by another driver. Rachel Wharton says the officer apologized and asked if she was okay, but then drove off without sharing any contact information. Wharton says she complained to the force, and a detective called her recently to say that there would be no ticket or repercussion because, by their definition, what happened was not technically a collision. I was scared, a little shocked, and then kind of angry because I, as a pedestrian, had the right of way crossing a green light, and these are the police officers that are supposed to protect us, and they are driving very carelessly, the 36-year-old said. A dashcam video shows what happened at around 8:30 a.m. on January 10. Wharton crossing Dufferin Street at Liberty Street on her way to work with red lights for cars on Dufferin Street. The police SUV turns southbound onto Dufferin Street and appears to strike Wharton, who puts her hands on the vehicle's push bars. Her phone falls onto the pavement, but the vehicle stops before running her over, and Wharton said she wasn't injured, just surprised and unsettled. She said she had some choice words for the driver, who then left, but Toronto police say nothing illegal happened. Police have arrested and charged 31 people after hundreds of drivers gathered in Peel region to allegedly race their vehicles over a 2-day period. Dubbed Project Speed Bump, the investigation was launched by Peel Regional Police PRP Road Safety Services Safer Roads team after it identified several drivers who participated in these unsanctioned events. Police said that on November 18, 2023, they monitored a group of 150 to 200 motorists who set up to race their vehicles at multiple locations throughout Peel region. In some cases, the groups had up to 150 vehicles, media officer Constable Richard Chin said in a video posted online. At that time, PRP said that they identified several drivers who had allegedly committed various dangerous driving offenses. The following day, on Sunday 19th November 2023, police said that many of the same street racers returned to the area to race and set up races on American Drive in Mississauga. Investigators noted that the dangerous driving behavior resulted in a collision involving a Corvette and a BMW. The driver of the Corvette, a 21-year-old man from Markham, was subsequently charged with numerous driving offenses, including 1 count of each of dangerous operation and public mischief for providing a false statement, as well as 3 counts of race a motor vehicle. Police said that prior to the crash, the driver of the BMW was seen street racing. The motorist, a 19-year-old man from Toronto, was charged with several driving offenses, including dangerous operation and 2 counts of race a motor vehicle. The drivers then left from the location and set up to race on Highway 427 North at Finch Avenue West, police said. The Forces Street Racing team was also able to identify and arrest some of those drivers. In the end, Project Speed Bump resulted in 31 arrests, 53 criminal code charges, and 69 Highway Traffic Act charges, including dangerous operation of motor vehicle, racing, stunting, and speeding. Chin said that PRP recognizes the extreme danger that street racing poses to our community and is working to address it. 3 youths and 2 18-year-olds are facing charges following an alleged attempted smash-and-grab robbery at a jewelry store in Markham earlier this week. At around 5 p.m. on February 12th, York Regional Police said they received a call about suspicious people in a jewelry store in the Yonge Street and Doncaster Drive area. Upon arrival, police said that they located 3 males and placed one who was in possession of a hammer into custody. Two other suspects filed the scene in a vehicle that police later determined was stolen in a violent Toronto area carjacking. On Wednesday, investigators, York Regional Police Emergency Response Crew members, police aviation, and a K-9 unit located the vehicle at a grocery store parking lot in Whitby and arrested its 5 occupants. Police said a replica firearm was located on one of the accused, and following the execution of 2 search warrants, investigators seized a loaded handgun from one of the residences. The suspects charged include 18-year-old Kieron Walters of Ajax and 18-year-old Tafia Eccleston of Oshawa. A 16-year-old male from Ajax and a 16-year-old female from Brampton and 17-year-old male from Oshawa are also facing charges, and their identities are protected under the provisions of the Youth Criminal Justice Act. Their charges include conspiracy to commit an indictable offense, possession of property obtained by crime, and unauthorized possession of a firearm with ammunition. The arrests come as Toronto area police continue to investigate similar incidents of smash and grab robberies over the past few months. In these cases, suspects often enter a store armed with hammers used to smash display cases open and steal the jewelry inside. Last year, a Brampton jewelry store was targeted by suspects twice in a 2-month period.
That's it for now. I'm Kubra Ali signing off. See you tomorrow, same time, same channel. Have a good night.